The focus of this presentation will be on helping classroom teachers distinguish between second language acquisition and learning disabilities among ELLs by explaining some of the challenges ELLs face when learning to read in English. Topics of discussion will be the 5 big ideas of reading, which are phonological awareness, the alphabetic principle, fluency, vocabulary, and reading comprehension, and an additional 2 more big ideas, which are oral language and motivation.
The first of the 5 big ideas is phonological awareness. Phonological awareness is the ability to identify and manipulate the parts of a spoken language. Phonemic awareness is a subcategory of phonological awareness and is the ability to identify and manipulate the phonemes or sounds in spoken words. ELL students are not accustomed to hearing these phonemes, and because of this, it is quite difficult for them to distinguish between the different sounds. Pronouncing new sounds can be difficult, and phonological tasks in general are more challenging. Teachers can help ELLs with phonological awareness by finding out which phonemes do not exist in the student's native language and helping the student discriminate between the different sounds.
The second of the 5 big ideas is the alphabetic principle. The alphabetic principle is the understanding of sound-symbol correspondence, or in other words, which letters make which sounds. It also involves combining sounds into words. To ELLs, letters might look the same but represent different sounds. Unfamiliar English sounds and their various spellings can make decoding and spelling difficult. Teachers should help students make these connections and allow them more time for this additional learning.
The next of the 5 big ideas is fluency. Fluency is the ability to read quickly and accurately with expression. It requires both word recognition and comprehension. ELL students typically have fewer opportunities to read out loud in English and receive feedback than their English-speaking peers. They may read more slowly and with less understanding. One way to help build fluency is to make sure students understand text and can decode all words before they read it. Another way is to give ELL students opportunities to hear a more expert reader model fluent, expressive reading.
The 4th big idea is vocabulary. ELLs, by definition, are in the process of acquiring English and do not have English vocabularies equal to their English proficient peers. They might, however, have extensive vocabularies in their native language. ELLs can be confused by common words such as prepositions, pronouns, cohesion markers, words with multiple meanings, figurative language such as similes and metaphors, and idioms. When the student already understands the concept behind a new word in English, simply providing the native label most likely will facilitate understanding. Yet when the concept is a new one, the teacher should provide more extensive instruction in what the concept means.
The final of the 5 big ideas is reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is a complex process of constructing meaning by coordinating a number of processes, which include decoding, wording, and fluency, along with the integration of background knowledge and previous experience. This is the ultimate goal in reading. Many factors can affect comprehension. These include oral language proficiency, word recognition skills, fluency, vocabulary knowledge, the ability to use comprehension strategies, variations in text structure, interest, and cultural differences. To determine what students comprehend, teachers should provide them with alternate ways to show understanding, by example, using more diagrams and pictures, and teachers should focus more on content than grammatical errors or accents. As we previously discussed in the overview, there are 2 more big ideas. The first of this is oral language. Oral language should be considered an essential component of effective instruction for ELLs because of its effect on literacy acquisition and help in development of oral English proficiency. When a student's oral language improves, so does their reading fluency and comprehension. Generic literacy programs are inadequate for ELLs because they guide teachers to explicitly teach only reading and writing skills. It is recommended that literacy programs emphasize explicit teaching of both talk and text, which is also called oracy. Teachers should observe their struggling learners closely to determine what their oral language needs might be and informally assess students' oral language development in different areas. They should also encourage students to take an active role in their own language development.
The second of these two big ideas is motivation. There is no doubt that the extent to which students are motivated affects their learning. Motivation is a crucial element to ELLs. One of the principal reasons students struggle to learn to read is a loss of motivation. The topics, the relevancy, and the language all affect how children interact with the text and how well they learn from them. Students bring linguistic and cultural resources to school that can be used to construct a relevant and engaging curriculum. Reading, writing, listening, and speaking should build upon these funds of knowledge. When ELLs seem to lack motivation before teachers conclude that they do not want to learn, are lazy, or do not care, they should first look at factors such as whether the assignment is meaningful, relevant, and at an appropriate instructional level, and also whether the students understand what is being asked of them and have all the tools they need to accomplish the task. The point of this presentation has been to help teachers understand the struggles faced by their ELLs. As we discuss, the 5 big ideas of reading are phonological awareness, the alphabetic principle, fluency, vocabulary, and reading comprehension. 2 more big ideas are oral language and motivation. And using these, teachers can avoid misjudging their students inappropriately.